Jennifer here from Belladonna's Botanicals. I'm recording this reintroduction for the second part of my Sorath Park path working video. Also wanted to add two things. Number one, the reason I'm doing this is because um, both are all related, but I got very sick around in like the second week of June with a really terrible stomach virus, like to the point I was purging so much I couldn't even hold water. And everything I did made me sick. So I spent a day in the ER and a lot of medical bills, but just had like a really nasty stomach virus and was super dehydrated, like had to have IV fluids and meds and a whole bunch of testing to rule out other things. So I'm okay now. I just had recorded this video. Actually, I recorded this a few hours before like all hell broke loose. It came on so fast. Um, like if you look at like the video footage, I look fine. I sound fine, and I went to into like some other universe of like a 3-day hellscape of being really sick. So what I'm doing here, this is going to kind of serve as the introduction to the video on the Sorath path working. The video quality gets a little sketchy, maybe about 15 minutes in, so I may just convert at that point to like just a standard background or some kind of video thing. I don't know, whatever that would match it. Because the video quality is embarrassing because StreamYard sucks, like really sucks. Like I don't know. I dropped them. I'm not paying to have to re-record hours of videos because their quality sucks sometimes for question mark reasons. But I did want to add one thing to this because I just finally had an appointment with my therapist this week, and kind of talking about a couple things that I wanted to add ancillary to this, because this is where the being sickness, um like how sick I was. And it was an interesting conversation because in this video I talk a lot about, hey, guess what happened? I finally worked through the last remaining really, 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 really hard parts of all my PTSD and trauma and came out the other side pretty fucking healed. And I gotta say, like, adjusting to the world, I feel like I have two brains and I'm already a Gemini, so um here's the thing, like I look at everything now, I'm like, okay, here's your trauma informed brain, but that's not the brain that makes the decisions. That's not the brain that's triggered by everything. That's not the brain that is re-traumatizing myself. I have to look at everything with new brain. That's a challenge. So we were talking about some of this in the context of healing, my therapy, because I've been doing the work here for like 15 years straight. That's how long it took me to get through all of this by any means necessary. And it was interesting. I'm just going to put in this caveat here for continuity and contextual purposes before anyone jumps up my butt about it. This is coming, my therapist is not a white person. So that said, I'm just putting that here contextually so you understand what this part is about. Because as she brought up, she's like, in some cultures, that purging, because like I literally felt like I vomited out my old soul, like that, like that was such a purgative release for me, like I was purging the trauma version of me. And she was like, in some cultures, that is like part of, that's part of it, like a healing, like a healing kind of process of like that, like a shamanic sickness. She's like, yep. Like yeah, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm adding the context of this wasn't coming from some white crunchy woo woo, therapist person, because I don't like therapists like that, so I don't go to them. But it was just an interesting kind of validation, because I think I said to someone in my fever dream death throw of 3 days of purging, and not for nothing, I am a little sad that I lost my 17-year vomit free um street cred. I'm a little sad, but that purging, like it shifted and changed something in a really profound way. Like I said, I feel like I vomited out my old soul, the trauma soul, like in that way. Like I used to joke like, oh, I'm just saving my vomiting for, if I do ayahuasca or something like that, or well, I don't need to do it anymore, so here we are. Managed it on my own. But yeah, it was definitely a very big transition for me. And I also just turned 50 at the beginning of the month. So not the greatest way to spend your birthday month, but um yeah, I feel like a different person inside and out. Because one of the things, and I may mention this somewhere in the Sorath video, my memory of everything I said is a little, so apologies if I repeat myself here and then in the video. I have no idea where I was going. So, but yeah, this is the second part of the video is really kind of focusing on the second part of my path working with Sorath. And also kind of want to add in some additional stuff since I recorded this at the beginning of the month. Sorath is not easy to work with. Sorath isn't easy to work with. Here's the caveat I want to make, and I've made it in the first video, and I'm going to repeat it again in this, and I probably say it in the other one. Sorath is going to shine a light on everything. All those skeletons in the closet, all that shit you've been ignoring, all that stuff that you need to change. And I'm dealing with a lot of that on the business side of things, like fired my accountants that I've been working with since I started my business, you know, and just figuring out all these things like, okay, this is what's working, this is what's not working, this needs to, things that need to change, things that need to be done differently. So yeah, it's a lot. I kind of was getting to the point like, Sorath, just let me fix a few things before we add more on to the pile. I will get to them. I have a new accountant. I've been working with a financial advisor. I have friends helping me out. So all of this is what working with Sorath is like. It's not, you just don't call on Sorath all willy-nilly for some, money, fame, and fortune. You are going to work for it, vomit your soul out quite possibly, and come out the other side. I, I and you know what? For as hard as all of this has been this year, because holy fuck it, going through all that trauma healing in a very short amount of time, like processing 30 years of trauma in, say, 3 months and pushing through all of it was a lot. So, yeah. Anyways, without further ado, here's the Sorath video, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Hey, it's Jennifer here from Belladonna's Botanicals, and I am going to talk about some more of my working with Sorath, the demon of the dark sun. Not gonna lie, working with Sorath is a lot. Very rewarding, but a lot. It's So I think sometimes the demonic gets a bad rep because this is not fluffy bunny. Like I stuck crystals in my bra and said Om and made some and did some daily affirmations. Not to poo-poo that. That's part of the bigger picture. This is just a lot more intense than that. Like a lot more intense. And I'll get to that in a minute. As I'm gonna put up the original video that I did here. So I'm talking about working with Sorath. So a lot of what I do on my channel is I talk in depth about my workings with different spirits over years. I have 5 years worth of this documented, and not for nothing, I just came off of having to sleep for 48 hours, almost 48 hours straight, because this has been a lot. Like, I mean, life's been crazy. I'm adjusting to a lot of other things, especially now having the retail shop and spending, splitting my time between there and home, working on everything here. So, yeah. So Sorath, a lot of people come to working with Sorath for wealth and fame and power and things like that because he's a solar deity. So, but working with him is intense, and I don't think I have it with me, but I know there's in S. Conley's wealth and prosperity magic, demonic wealth and prosperity magic. It's in the living She talks a little bit about working with Sorath and how it can be like a lot of people come running right in. They want to work with Sorath for those things. And you really have to, like, I haven't really at this point, I'm 6 months into working with Sorath and I haven't done a lick of work for this, I don't think, for like wealth and, you know, power and fame and fortune and all that stuff. What Sorath has me doing is all the stuff I need to clean out and take care of first in order to even think about that. And holy fuck balls, this has been a lot. So I left off, I think the video that I did was maybe sometime in April. So I've still been working with Sorath, and I start realizing like when Sorath is testing me, and May was my threshold test of what can you handle in your business right now. So we're gonna get, this is gonna be twofold here, because I've got two major things going on in this working. And to be honest, like, I'm not in here doing big old evocations and invocations and crazy ass rituals and things like that. And in working with Sorath, a lot of other, it started to work. It's starting to intertwine with like Lucifer and Sorath at the same time, because Lucifer is my patron. So, you know, I work with Lucifer a lot, but I'm not doing huge rituals here. 90% of my work with Sorath is just deep fucking meditation and working in ascension mode. And I had no idea. I really had no fucking idea. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm saying this in a mind fucking blown kind of way. So this is twofold. So with Sorath, right now, the big test on this is just the initiatory preparatory mode of working with Sorath right now. And I'm 6 months into working. So this is on the business. If I want, you know, wealth and fame and fortune and success around the business, what Sorath does is shine a spotlight on all that shit you've swept under the carpet, all that shit you're not dealing with. Oh crap, I forgot about that. And really a lot of big picture stuff. So that is what I've been embarking on for things having to do business wise. It's making me go through and evaluate very fun ththings. I don't know, maybe demons do torture us sometimes because, I don't know, finances, that's a form of torture. So some of it is getting my finances back on track. So I work with a financial advisor there. It's sort of like, it's like, okay, we're going to shine a spotlight on all the things you need to do in order to be ready to do that big thing. So this is when I talk about magical timing is its own thing. It exists in some other, or it doesn't exist. I don't know. But Sorath really pushes you through a rapid process of this. So right now, I am in the process of completely reconfiguring a business in some ways, because what I look at, like, I have hurdles that I have to deal with, as far as I have to deal with that I am a lot more disabled than I sometimes want to admit. Like, my body fucking sucks sometimes. Like right now, like I'm probably at some point going to need to get some surgical spinal procedures done, because I'm in constant pain. I have a lot of issues in my sacroiliac joint, which pretty much just fucks everything from your hips all the way down to your feet. So like there's times where I'm like, holy shit, I can walk 4 blocks total in a day and have it fuck me up for a week. Or, you know, I'm actually doing this on Wednesday. I'm getting cortisone injections in my SI joint again, which right now I'm doing every 3 months. Now, I'm 50 years old. Having to do that every 3 months for the rest of my life isn't a solution. So I have a surgical consult for some other things that, they might be able to do. In addition to the amount of meds I'm on, I have, daily I'm on a shit ton of Lyrica for nerve pain, pregabalin, diclofenac, which is a prescription anti-inflammatory, my autoimmune meds, and I have this is all managed through a pain clinic, so nothing illegal here, but I also do have some opioid prescriptions for breakthrough pain that we're working on. We're trying to figure out how to get me to not be in pain all the time. Because right now, even just sitting here, like I went to go stand up and turn the lights on and almost face planted my desk because I'm in pain and I get very stiff and immobile from the autoimmune stuff. So May was my stress test on that. What can my body handle? My body cannot handle May. So I know what my hard limits are as far as how much work I can do in a month by myself. And even with having people helping out, sometimes it's getting my finances in better shape because I have issues with back taxes. I have other stuff, credit card debt, things like that. But a lot of it is just being like, oh, okay, here's what we need to deal with. Let's go through the Rolodex of solutions till we find something that works. And sometimes it might be like, okay, you're stuck in a holding pattern until this time, and then we can do this. So hold, and then deal with something else. Because, and talking with my financial advisor, one of the things he's like, the financial issues that you have, I see this happen all the time with small businesses that grew too fast. And that is exactly what happened. Like this went from a little side hustle to like, I can quit my cushy desk job at an Ivy League university. And it's mostly just me doing this. So, yeah, my 5-year plan manifested in less than 2. So, and I've been kind of stuck treading water. Like everything's holding steady sales wise and has been since like 2021, but I haven't been able to grow any further because I'm not really capable of handling it. And in order to grow further, I need to be in a better financial situation where I can hire people to do work for me that I can't do because my body just is failing. Like when I think about that, I'm like, what's the X factor here? If I am doing, say, the same volume, let's see, I can give numbers. So on average, let's see. So on average, 2021, 22, 23, and 24. On average, I sell about 10 to 11,000 units a year. That's all stuff I make, package, and ship out. So I'm shipping out 10 to 11,000 units a year. That's about what I can do. At this time, I can't. That's my throttle. That's where I'm throttled there. Okay. How do we get above that? That's what I'm working with Sorath on. So right now, in order, I can do all the money manifestation I want. It's just going to put Band-Aids on bigger issues. What I need to do is not be like constantly lighting money candles and, oh, God, I need money for rent. Oh God, I need money for this. Oh God, I need money for that. It's completely changing and rethinking the way I do literally everything. And it's a lot. It's a lot of things to look at. It's all the stuff I don't have time for. I'm like, yes, there's probably a much better solution for this, or a much better inventory management system, or a much better, way to do this. I just don't always have the time to investigate that, or to like find the supplier when, I had an issue with perfume bottles and I had to find a new supplier. So what's the thing that's changed? If I'm selling the same amount every year, it's taking me much longer to get stuff out. What's the X factor? The X factor is I'm taking care of myself. The X factor is I go to the doctor a lot. I mean, most weeks I have at least one doctor's appointment or medical procedure. Let's see, this week I'm getting SI joint injections. Last week I saw my physiatrist. Let's see, I saw my physiatrist last week. I see my rheumatologist next month. I have an ortho surgical consult. I have 2 EMG tests coming up in August, one for my hands, one for my feet, because I have a lot of neuropathy, because apparently didn't exactly feel stabbing myself in the foot as much as I thought I should have for as much as stitches as I needed. So it's just constant. It's I always have something going on. I have doctor's appointments, I have therapy, I have not doing physical therapy right now, but I get regular injections because I go to the pain clinic and I have prescriptions for opioids. I have to go every month for, that stuff because a lot of it's very much more regulated than it used to be. So I'm in pain. Like I had to sleep for 2 days. And I'm still in pain. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to stand up and that is going to not be fun. So that's one of the big things that I'm dealing with is kind of like, you have to admit you are a lot more disabled and you need help with things. How do we get you in a situation that this is not this constant chaos? So that's a lot of big picture thinking in terms of time management. And hi, I am ADHD and autistic. I do really well if I have a routine schedule, and then Mr. Chaos ADHD comes over and goes, fuck schedules, we don't need schedules. Anyways, so some of it's looking at the time management, how I'm doing things, and this is all really big picture stuff, and it's a lot. But wait, there's more. So with the first video I did on Sorath, I'm probably gonna do a couple more on this because I have a feeling I'm going to be working with Sorath for a very, 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 very long time. So I'm just looking at some of my notes, which I have to update, and I can see how much I changed and am changing. Like it started about the end when I started working with Sorath, but like I got through and healed the rest of my PTSD and trauma. I mean, we're talking about 30 years of stuff here. Like, I have a lot of PTSD and a lot of trauma. I just don't talk about it. But I pushed through healing. I'm still working on integrating it all because holy fuck balls, it was a lot. And I have to untangle some of the timelines and integrate things a little better. There are still some details that are missing because I do have some memory loss, actually significant memory loss in some areas of my life, but I had no idea. Like coming out the other side and being like, I don't ever remember a time in my life in the 50 years I've been on this planet that I have felt whole and healed to this level. That I'm not, and not for nothing, gestures around at the fuck shit of a world we are living in right now, not being depressed, anxious, and worried all the time is a feat of strength. Because holy crap. But I never, there was trauma. I don't want to go into like the nuts and bolts of it because it's private and it also involves other people and don't want to be, spilling tea in that sense. But the thing for me was I've been doing this work. I started my healing journey 15 years ago. It's taken me that long to get through all of this. So being able, Sorath catapulted me through that, the final stages of my healing, of recognizing my trauma for what it was and seeing I don't even know that I can find the words for it at this point, of like standing here looking back at my life and seeing how everything connects, how the traumas informed so many of my decisions, so many things I did in my life, so many other things that happened to me as a result. And but it just all healed. It just like sometimes when it comes to trauma, it's just like recognizing it, acknowledging it, and be like, oh, this is a thing that happened. It was traumatic. Sometimes that's all you need to do to heal it. And, I peeled back so many layers and so many layers of healing and over the years. And what I thought was my big T trauma wasn't my big T trauma. There was a little loop there of which all that trauma and then two other seemingly random and not connected moments that just sort of pinched those traumas together. And that was the big T trauma. And yeah, I don't have the word. I don't even know how to describe that level of healing and that level of I don't even know how to describe it. I've been doing this work for so long. And if you know me, I am never at a loss for words. I am at a loss for words. That gives you the level of how profound and deep this healing is. Are there other things I need to heal? Sure, I'm human. Are there future things I'll need to heal? Sure, that's life. But that I got through all of that, the stuff that really defined me as a person, that trauma that shaped my life. I'm happy now. I am exactly who I need to be as a person right now in this moment. I'm exactly who I was always supposed to be. I am the person I had to fight and save from the people who tried to take that away, who tried to, extinguish my flame. Um, so yeah, I it was a lot. It was coming to terms with so much. And so I'm just kind of looking at the notes I wrote. So this is beginning of April. Sorath and Lucifer pushed me through a massive gauntlet and series of tests. But I think the thing that I needed to realize, and this is what Lucifer has been hammering into me all along, is that I'm enough on my own and I can live without having someone in my life. And like I had to, and this was like a failing of mine so many times over the years, of loving myself first and foremost and not losing myself. And love, friendship, relationship, whatever, other people, anything in that area. So, but I was always losing myself. It's like I'm the person that doesn't realize they're bleeding to death as I'm running around the plane crash trying to save everyone else. I think I just finally made it to that sweet spot of self-acceptance. It's weird. And the other one, and this one really helped me, was really getting comfortable with the whole death and dying of it all. And kind of pushing through these two areas of really confronting not getting any younger. The world's kind of fucked up. Death and dying was something I had to really be like, hey, you know what? I may not survive this. Am I today where I want to be? If today was my last day, I can at least say I lived a good life. I healed. I'm whole and healed. I'm happy. And I have hope for the future, whether I'm part of that or not. So a lot of the other work that I've been doing on this is, and this is something that I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but like honestly, like the reason we're having the problems we're having in the world and why everything keeps repeating, which makes, I mean, prophecy is easy peasy lemon squeezy because people are so fucking predictable. So it's easy to make prophetic, to make prophecy. I totally don't remember what I was saying. But I've been working a lot on, okay, so what I was going to say here. It's time that we stop avenging our ancestors and start healing and integrating that. Because otherwise, 100 years from now, the same shit's just going to be happening on repeat. Because when you look at history, when you really look at everything, like the fact-y facts of it all and not just some made-up bullshit, everything just keeps repeating on like 100-year cycle, give or take. We have the same shit, different day, different part of the world, different reasons, similar reasons sometimes, just new versions of the old reasons. And it's time to heal our ancestral wounds and trauma, because we do carry that with us. We all have ancestral trauma. That is not unique to any one particular group of people for any number of reasons. We all have it on some level. So I'm working to, I'm exploring my Slavic heritage and culture and paganism and connecting with those spirits. And Sorath has been helping to sort of create a energetic connection from myself here in Pennsylvania to the Transcarpathian region of Ukraine, where a lot of my family came from. Most of my family came from. So like really embracing and learning more about, Slavic paganism and traditions and folk magic and the different deities, and connecting with that and the land spirits. Like Eastern European Slavic paganism is very animistic. So there's like the spirit of everything. So I'm kind of starting to really delve into a more animistic approach to my spirituality, which for someone with synesthesia, sensory issues and whatnot, it's different and I love it, but I'm just working on a lot of ancestor work, healing ancestors, exploring, becoming more in tune with who I am as a person, what my history is, what my family history is, understanding that place, in history, I guess. And learning the Ukrainian language. I'm becoming whole. I think I am whole. And the last thing I noted on my little thing, I haven't updated it in a while. This just shows you how much I changed and my perspective changed in that time. So I wrote this, I think, maybe in January, February. Darkness unfolding, tangled in a darkness that I cannot even fully comprehend. I don't want to be here. There have been other darknesses, calamities, traumas that have endured and survived. I am tired. I really don't want to be here. The dark sun surrounds. Just take me away. So that's where I was before I started working with Sorath, or very early on. That's my mindset. And that having come out from that, to come out here and be like, I'm good. That's a lot. And I have to make a bunch more notes because I've had more recent experiences. I think there was something with a whole bunch of Jinn. I know I was something working with Slavic spirits or the land spirits of like the Carpathian Mountains. But these are all things that are important to me, and like I feel like working with Sorath has been deeply, like, I'll say, yeah, this is profound in a way. If you're not ready for this, this will break you. Like, yeah, there was there was at least 72 hours, or at least it was, how many days was it? No, maybe not 72. There's a solid day and a half where I wasn't entirely sure if you ever get in that like half awake, half asleep thing. You're like, I'm pretty sure I died and no one had the common decency to tell me, or that the world ended long ago and this is just some weird fever dream death echo. Because shit's weird. But yeah, like this is intense. This was intense, like deep trauma healing, deep. So when I say, when you want to work with Sorath, this is the preparatory work. You're not just going to go work with Sorath, light a candle, and be like God of the universe here. Like, you gotta work. Sorath makes you work. And if you're not willing to do this work, do not work with Sorath. Like, seriously. And this is where I try to impart is, I think the reason people have bad experiences with the demonic and other types of spirits or gods and goddesses is because, yeah, they can be tough on you. They will teach you lessons. You will fall on your face, but you will get up and be bigger and better and stronger for it. And you will have learned a thing. It's like being from the now on the other side of healing. It's I feel like I have two brains now. I've like got past trauma brain and new brain. I have to remind myself to use new brain, not trauma brain, when I'm thinking about things or how I'm feeling about things and processing emotions. I have to use new brain, not trauma brain. So that's a new lesson for me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe you were expecting some, if you watched all the way through this video, like, oh, Sorath, demon of the dark sun. I've heard so much, there's all this crazy stuff out there. And he's helping me manage my finances, heal my trauma, and manage my business better. Demons, you never know what you're going to get. But I digress. I love working with the spirits I do. I mean, they have taught me so much, and I've grown so much as a person, and I would not trade that for anything in the world. And the thing is, they're not doing this work for me. They're helping and guiding me. I'm doing the heavy lifting. I'm doing the work. And if you're not willing to do the work, or you're not ready yet, like if you're considering working with Sorath, like it might not be time for you to work with Sorath yet. You might need to go through years of other progress and experiences to get to that point. And that's fine. Our spiritual evolution doesn't have a timestamp on it. We get to where we're going eventually. But yeah, so if you want to work with Sorath, watch these videos. There are other videos out there that talk about working with Sorath. Everyone's got different ways of working with spirits. Some I agree with, some I'm like, but this, I never saw any of this coming, like in a good way. Like, this is like big. I never imagined that I would ever be at a point of peeling back all the layers on the onions to heal my trauma. Like, I never imagined that. So being able to do that and coming out the other side, go me. It is something to celebrate. We have to celebrate our wins. That's important. It's not just, oh, my spell didn't work, or oh, this didn't work, or oh, this happened, or whatnot. Celebrate your wins. And this is a win for me. And I'm just going to end here because I've been trying to get through a backlog of video recordings today. So anyways, thank you for watching, and don't forget to click like and subscribe. I will probably be back with more videos on my path working with Sorath over time as new things develop, because holy fuck balls, who knows what's going to come down the pike in the rest of the year in this working. So yeah, so follow us on social media, sign up for e-newsletter, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you.